What I want to talk to you about today is carbohydrate restriction, and depending on really how your body functions, this can be a bigger issue for some of us than for others. So for me, one of the things that I have found in my own keto diet journey is that I have to be extremely restrictive on the carbohydrates. So I'll give you a couple of examples, because one of the things I do is I track my eating on MyFitnessPal. And so it's interesting to correlate the days that my carbohydrates go higher than a restricted range. So ideally, I try and keep my carbohydrates at 20 grams of carbohydrates per day or less, and I try and keep my macros 5% carbohydrates, 80% fat, 20%, 15% protein. And so, what that does is it's interesting to watch the correlation. If I, for example, am on a business trip where my macros go out of whack a little more, so maybe I'm doing 10% or 12% carbohydrate intake for the day, I end up gaining weight most of the time. It's very interesting to watch that correlation, and so I've learned that for me, I have to be very restrictive on the carbohydrate intake, in particular because in those carbohydrates tends to be a lot of sugars. And so for me, the thing that has helped me, really accelerate the fat loss has been being very restrictive on those carbohydrates. If I don't, I tend to hit lengthy plateaus, and sometimes instead of losing weight, I'll actually increase weight. So I'll give you an example here. I'm tracking my weight on my board. In January, I was at 321 pounds. I took a 2-week trip to East Africa, during which time I was unable to really control my eating to any great extent. And so when I returned, I was at 323 pounds. Actually